Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking over the top 10 Scarlet and Violet Gen 1 Pokemon. We're going to be looking through all the sets spanning up to the point of Stellar Crown. Now Surging Sparks is going to be coming out and there are some really nice Gen 1 Pokemon in there, but we're going to restrict it for now until it comes out. So, as you see, there is an absolute mountain of beautiful cards in Scarlet and Violet, and a lot of them are actually Gen 1 Pokemon cards. But I think I found the top 10 list that can be undisputed. I'm not going to include this particular promo card just because Pikachu is not really that big in the card. But yeah, we're going to look through them and I think y'all are going to love it. So here we go. Starting off with number 10, we have Mew EX from Paldean Fates. This card has absolutely skyrocketed in value recently. As you see, for the past 3 months, it has literally had a 21% gain, and it has actually overthrown the previous number 1 card to become the best card in Paldean Fates. What do you know? I love the shiny for Mew. It's a really nice color. Blue is my favorite, and I'll be honest, at first I did not like this card, but once I pulled it in Paldean Fates, the Japanese version, I have to say, it was beauty through simplicity. I really enjoyed it. It's not a very flashy card, but it has a very chibi aesthetic, which is cute and suits Mew really well. And if we take a look at the past few sales, let's filter for, oh no, what happened? They got rid of the near mint filtering. Oh yeah, when they switched to adding the Japanese cards to TCG Player, this really weird thing happened where you cannot filter for some reason the traditional way. I'll have to explore things again, maybe over here. Nope. Okay, well, we'll do that later. But if we look at the near mints, we could just focus on the over here. So this is likely Japanese, so I'm gonna skip over that because we can't see. Usually when there's an image, it's Japanese. But yeah, so we got some pretty crazy prices. 130, 115, 115, 120. It's generally going up substantially. It's at 104 in the average, but as you see, it's actually going for way more in terms of the recent sales. Next up, we have for number 9, Squirtle from Stellar Crown. I love this card, honestly. It is so beautiful, and it goes with another 2 cards. It becomes a really cool trio of the starter Pokemon from the Generation 1. Absolutely stunning, and I love how Pidgey are constantly in all of these cards, and particularly I love the mischievous side of Squirtle that we're seeing right here, literally bugging the life out of this little Pidgey in the bottom left. You see another Pidgey down here drinking water from his pool. Very cute situation we have over here, and definitely dropping in value. The card only came out in October, I believe, so we have had a decent amount of time for the pre-release prices to drop. Was it October? No, sorry, it was September, which Stellar Crown came out. So yeah, it's definitely had substantial drop in time to sort of settle down, and so this is not particularly concerning, this drop, because pre-release prices are always really high and take some time for it to simmer down. But as you see, the volume of trading is absolutely insane. If you take a look at the bars back there, it's quite high, especially at early point. There was 190 sold between September 8th and September 10th in terms of the number of Squirtles, and so we're seeing it really simmer down in terms of the number of cards being sold, but still quite a highly traded card, as we see in the most recent sales. We're seeing it kind of go down even further. We see a general trajectory moving it down. I would like to ignore these anomalies, so generally we see it dropping below $40. Hopefully, if it continues to drop a little bit more, I will grab this card myself. Number 8, we have Pikachu from 151, a card that I've raved about in the past, absolutely adore because of the absolutely amazing number of 151 Pokemon, or in other words, the Gen 1 Pokemon that are featured in this card, from Blastoise all the way to Jigglypuff. You have it all in this card. It has a chibi aesthetic, which is another unique sort of artwork for Pokemon, and I really just love this card. And again, a card 151 has been spiking like crazy, but we are seeing a lot of movement for particularly the higher end art rares and SIRs. This particular Pikachu going for above $20 now when it was sitting at around $16 not too long ago. But yeah, really, really beautiful card, and I'm so happy that it's getting the love it deserves. Next up, we have Bulbasaur from Stellar Crown. I personally like this card more than the Squirtle, but I totally understand if you all feel like they could have been swapped in positions, because truth be told, these are all sensational artworks, and honestly, preference might just play the role of dictator for the rankings. But generally, I can definitely confidently say that the first 5 are, and the next 5 are going to be, in the same spots, but you might just switch around in the first number 10 to number 6 slot, and number 5 to number 1 slot. But anyway, another card that has seen the correction from pre-release sales. This card is still less than Squirtle. Hoping it'll go down a little bit more. I would love to cop this card for maybe $30 to $32 USD. I'll just grab this card at that point. But yeah, really beautiful one, and I really love the plants in this card. It reminds me so much of those greenhouses, but just like a very cozy home aesthetic. You see, it's absolutely buzzing with plants. This literally, my mom has a million plants, from hibiscus to peace lilies to everything, and I really love this card. I know she would. Next up, we have Pikachu with the gray felt hat. This was a promo card that came out on the Pokemon Center website, and I have to say this is a pretty solid card in the sense that it's a unique artwork. Now, some people just have a bitter attachment to this card because of the fact that it went out of stock. I know I do, because I had it in my cart and it literally vanished into thin air, and I still hold a grudge against it for that, but at the same time I have to acknowledge it's a really solid artwork, because it has that Van Gogh artwork style, and it's really, really cool. We had the Screaming Pikachu, Screaming Eevee sort of artworks in Sun and Moon, and this is different sort of style, but same sort of painting aesthetic, which I love. And this card just continues to climb, 32% increase. Next up, we have Charmander from the Obsidian Flames Elite Trainer boxes. This particular card is the Pokemon Center ETB variation, which is astronomically more expensive than the regular Obsidian Flames ETB promo. That's because there is a limited supply of the Pokemon Center ETBs, and so as they are out of stock in the Pokemon Center website, and it is very, very infrequent that they actually decide to restock. This is pretty much it. You're not going to see too much more supply of these cards. Whatever's out there is out there, and you have to crack open the ETB, which not everyone likes to do as well. So that in and of itself also limits the supply of the raw card. And as you can see, it's really showing in the value. It's had a 70% gain in value. One of my favorite cards of Charmander of all time. Next up, we're moving on to SIRs, Special Illustration Rares again, after a huge literal landslide of art rares that we've seen, except for that Mew. So yeah, we're back to SARs. We have a shiny Terra Charizard. What a stunning artwork. I have to say, I'm not usually a fan of the Terras. Stellars definitely stepped it up for me. I definitely like those. But normal Terras were kind of boring until Paladin Fates introduced this Charizard. Gotta say, I love it. I love the fact that all the crystals are black and everything around it just screams Dark Charizard. Honestly, they could have dropped this card in Rocket, and I feel like it would have had an awesome fit to it. Look at that Charizard. I mean, his eyes are literally slits. It looks like it's absolutely furious, and it's such a stunning artwork. Every detail in it is phenomenal. And this card has been dropping a lot, so I'm definitely picking this card up as soon as I find this decent copy of it, because even if this card drops a little bit more, I don't see it being a problem, because it'll definitely go back up. A stunning card, and you only get so many shiny Charizards per generation. Next up, for number 3, we have the Zapdos SAR from the Scarlet and Violet 151 set. Obviously, a lot of these cards are from the 151 set, because it is literally Gen 1, but this card in particular is just my favorite card from 151. I have to say, personally, this was my favorite card. And the Erica full art, when I first saw the set release, I still have not gotten my hands on this card, which absolutely drives me nuts. It's such a stunning artwork, and I love the fact that you have all three legendary birds, the iconic trio in this one card, and the blue is so sensational. They integrated the sky and the land formations in the single card from this perspective so well, and you can see how fast they're flying because of the streaks of air that you can see blinding past, which is so amazing. Card again, as 151 is, just skyrocketing up. It was at $37, and now it is all the way up to $45. And no doubt the sales are going up. So yeah, that's pretty much the movement for 151. Can't say I'm surprised. But for the card that has absolutely boomed in the past few days, and I actually reported on it before it absolutely skyrocketed in my previous video. One reason why y'all might want to subscribe to the channel, I do like to keep y'all notified about big market movements and some set updates whenever a new set drops. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to catch more updates. But anyway, if we're looking at the recent sales of the Charizard, it has been crazy. So ignore this. This is actually the damaged holofoil. It is weird, and for some reason we cannot filter. Okay, finally we can filter. I don't know what just happened in the Mew card, but anyway, we can see right here that the card is going for a pretty solid price. Is going for $200 pretty much, with the exception of this $250. And so if you take a look, it actually went much higher. It went up to $217. It's correcting a little bit, but I have to say I wasn't too surprised that this card jumped up. I never understood why the Greninja was so expensive until I realized that, some people were buying up the card and then selling it in crazy quantities, so it kind of drove the price up artificially, whereas the Charizard really has a more organic growth story to it up to this point, and then, I can't really explain it. It just kind of exploded. But this is a card that definitely makes sense for its value. It's part of the 151 set, a set that will undoubtedly go down as one of the best sets of all time. It is a iconic Pokemon Charizard, and it has a wonderful story with the Charmander and Charmeleon. So it would naturally go up. It's the number one card in this 151 set, so no wonder we're seeing it go up in value. But without further ado, let's take a look at my number one pick. And this might not surprise a lot of you, but at the same time, I had to put it here. It is the Magikarp art rare from the set Paldea Evolved, the second set to come out in the Scarlet Violet era. And I have to say, this card has grown on me like fine wine. I never liked the artwork of Shinji Kanda when I first saw it for any of the three cards that he has released so far. And as time goes on, I end up adoring each one of them. And it's not because of price, I promise you that. It's just a card. I'm not a big person for abstract artworks, I'll be honest. But the mesmerizing beauty to his artworks seems to have a way to just attach itself into your mind and just sit there. And as you mull over the artwork, you really enjoy it more and more. From the Giratina artwork from Lost Origin to the soon coming out Magneton promo card in the Surging Sparks ETB, and of course this Magikarp. I have learned to love them all, and particularly I love the way there's a little Gyarados hiding in this card, as you might see in the top. And yeah, generally stunning artwork, really really cool, and so deserving of its number one spot. If we take a look, it's pretty out there in value, but it's actually come down substantially. I remember this was going for 160 at one point. We're back down to sort of 110 area. Hopefully it goes down a little bit more, but yeah, definitely happy that I got this card, although it was literally mulled. If y'all want to check it out when I pull this card, I literally got it in my first booster box. It was my video where I weighed Paldea Evolved and saw if you could get a particular weight for the SARs or art rares and so forth. And yeah, managed to pull this Magikarp, and someone probably took a bite out of the card, I have to say. But I'm still happy that the front is undamaged. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed the video. I am so happy I was finally able to do this. I've been so crazed with work. But yeah, let me know in the comments if there's some particular market update or some sort of particular idea y'all have where you'd like me to take a video on, I'd be happy to take suggestions. And have a wonderful day, y'all. Catch y'all in the next one.